Check 1 2 1 2. We're gonna give some respect to our dog Ken Flores right here. Rest in peace, one of the greatest comedians to ever do it, man. Condolences and respect to his family and friends. Okay, Ken Flores, the dog, the boy, funniest dudes on the planet, man. Guess God had other plans for him, huh? Yeah. Casey, is it game time?
It's game time.
Well, let's get this popping then. Yes, sir. Welcome to Hoodstock's Sunday morning. Hey, pull out your coffee, baby. Pan dulce, whatever makes your Sunday morning happy. It might be some menudo, you know? Yeah. Gotta work that hangover out real quick, you know? Yes, sir. Sheesh. Got Chop City on the beat right here. I see Goonies tapping in. Daniel M. What's good, my dog? 818 Bernardino. San Bernardino. Game time. You know it's game time, dog. Yes, sir. God is good. If you woke up this morning, feel blessed.
Facts.
Top of the morning, my dogs. I see you right there. Today we got an absolutely amazing guest. You know how lucky gets when Navy SEALs are on the podcast. Or at least I hear what you guys say, how you think I feel. I think it's correct though. With that said, today's guest is a former Navy SEAL. I want everybody to give a warm welcome for Taylor Kavanaugh. Let's go.
Sazu, appreciate it, brother. Thanks everybody for stopping by, man.
Absolutely, man. It's Sunday morning. People are still waking up, you know.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and if they
we got it popping early, though.
Absolutely, man. Well, you know, when it comes to, I mean, the two Navy SEALs that I've had on, you know the other dude.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jimmy's
Watson, right?
Yeah, Jimmy's a beast, man.
Yeah, and so... Just to let everybody know, if you got a podcast, you're ever gonna have a Navy SEAL on, prepare to wake up around this time for a podcast. Yeah. They ain't fucking around. They ain't doing the nighttime shot, dog. You know what I mean? You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Dude, I like getting up early. That's part of my program, dude. You know, it's part of my program is getting up early and getting like that deliberate morning started. For me, psychologically, it's helpful. So also driving into LA, man, fucking trying to get the shit done early.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me fix this mic for you real quick. I want it like that. There you go, Dave. And so what time do you wake up?
Dude, I get up at about 3:34.
3:34.
Yep.
Okay. And so you wake up in the morning, maybe a shot of coffee first.
Oh, dude, coffee's required, bro. I do the same thing, which I started learning in the Foreign Legion, because obviously I was in the SEAL teams, but I got kicked out of the SEAL teams. After 7 years, bro, I failed a steroid test. And so I got fucking kicked out of the military.
For steroids?
For steroids, but I brought a lot of heat on myself because I got arrested 2 times for 2 different, like, bar fights, essentially. Like, just getting rowdy. Nothing crazy. I wasn't like the dude that goes around starting shit, but
you're the dude that finishes
I made it hard for people to get out of shit, you know? And so, you know, I mean, I got some serious charges while in the SEAL teams, man. I got an aggravated assault and some felony charges, and I ended up beating the cases, but I went to jail a couple times, even while active duty, but top secret clearance, all that shit, dude. It's just, I brought so much heat on myself. Navy JAG was like, fucking, we're gonna drug test you, which I passed. That wasn't really like how my get down, but they sent my blood work up to, because I got tased and fought off a dog and like some other shit went down, and they're reading the report going, this motherfucker's on some shit. And I was, bro. I fucking lit that test up hard, bro. You know, I say I passed or failed, however you want to look at it, man. But they sent it to the Olympic Testing Center up in UCLA, dude, and I was fried, you know. But zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance for steroids.
Yeah, and so they look at it like drugs. It's like drug use, essentially, because it's a zero tolerance substance.
Do you think that added to your rage in these certain situations?
It didn't help, you know, but it would definitely, anybody says it didn't help, but I was just like wired for sound, man. And I was on that firewater hard, you know, and so I was on a formal probation when this second thing went down, and I had federal marshals in a van here to extradite me back to Idaho where my original case was. It was a fucking nightmare, bro. Just, I mean, the things we do to ourselves, right? You know, you've been there when the chaos and the turmoil, and it's like, we're doing it to ourselves, man. It was all choices I made.
Yeah, and isn't it a trip? And I mean, I think we can. I think we can both understand what I'm going to say right here in the sense of this. Like, after being in the chaos and the turmoil so many times, sometimes you just move real slow through that because you've been there and done that so many different times. So it's not necessarily chaotic to you. You can potentially be in your comfort zone, opposed to the other person that's really never been through that. That's not seasoned. You a seasoned vet. And first off, thank you for your service, my dog.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
You know, I'm bouncing around a little bit.
No,
right
it's
here.
all good. We're freestyling it.
Yeah,
bro.
we always freestyle
That's
this
how we
shit
do
right
it.
here, dog. But I want to say this too. What I told you before the cameras went on, for individuals like yourself, is what keeps motherfuckers like myself, bro, doing what we are so privileged to do in this great country.
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that, man. And now for me, the same, you know, I'm a civilian now, so, you know, I give props to the homies that are still out there kind of doing it, you know, and, you know, we're geographically isolated, the United States is, and we got a big stick and a lot of power, and we operate in a lot of safety, you know, and being other countries and things I've seen, you know, it's, not everybody lives that way. And I'm not saying life's perfect, it's definitely not, but we live under a blanket of comfort for, you know, the guys standing on the wall, man.
How do you feel sometimes when you see people that are just hate this country, but they're living in this country? Or they act like they hate this country?
Man, you know, why would you want to hate where you live? It doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, we can either bitch about the problems or make them better, be better as human beings. And before, you know, I like to look out and correct things. I'm like, man, am I correct first? You know, and a lot of times, bro, I'm not, you know, so I have this constant, my whole thing is, man, I gotta make sure my side of the street's clean before I start pointing fingers.
100%. And I love salute to you on that, brother. That's a humble man right there saying that. That's a man that that is transparent with yourself, right? You know what I mean? Like, I say like this, and I want to say this. I'll say that, hey, man, if you don't like what's going on in this country, well, you know, there's ways that you can put yourself in a position to make change.
Absolutely, and that's what's beautiful about this country, man, is, dude, you can get on a platform. You can open a mic. You can start getting followers. You know,
you can get education.
You can get on a podium, man, and actually say, and I support that, man. If there's a lot of shit that needs to be correcting here, right? Correct in the United States, and good, do it then, right? Make sure you're good, then get a good following, and be clear about your message, right? It doesn't need to be emotional. It can be systematic and clear. You know, that's what I always say, man. Is if you're going to communicate a message, make sure you have the education and you know what you're talking about, and then send it. Fucking, you know, then go full tilt, right? Send it, and if it's logical, then it should back up against criticism, right? If it makes sense, then any critique of it shouldn't poke holes in it. So that's what I would say. If you have a logical argument to stand on, then all right, well then get on a podium and communicate that message. That's the beauty about this country, is you can do that.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So. And then we bounced around real quick, and that's my fault too.
No,
bro.
I like that. Yeah. I like that.
So back to 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Shot of coffee.
Yeah. So
everybody's still sleeping in your crib.
Oh yeah, dude. You know, I got a new baby and stuff too, man. And
congratulations,
thanks,
brother.
man. And it's because I learned, and this is kind of where it started, man. I was in the Foreign Legion in France for half a decade, man. Just cut off from. Because I had fucked up my life, man. We can get into that a little bit. I got on a fentanyl and fucking all that shit, dude, for a couple years. And I was just like suicidal, man. And so I decided to make a change, cut away everything. And I'm in this Foreign Legion, which is, if people don't know what it is, it's a foreign military in France. It's like 200 years old, that only foreign fighters. It's only foreign fighters. You cannot be French. Well, you can, but it's like they got to change your identity. You go knock on the door. There's no application, nothing. You got to fly there with a bag and your passport. And you open the door like Wizard of Oz, man. Some guy with a gun and a green beret who's a Legionnaire. It was actually a Mexican dude, a dude from Mexico who opened the door. And he said, all right, give me your passport. And it was pretty much get up on the pull-up bar, man. And it's a fucking whole process. And I didn't see that passport again for 3 years, man. They change your name, give you a fake European social security number if you make it. And then, you know, you're fighting for France. And they sent me all over the world and kind of did some different shit. But in that process, I learned that I still wasn't happy, right? I was like trying to patch my identity with some external, all right, I'm gonna be a SEAL, and that was my identity. And then I gave that away, and that, was taken away from me. And okay, well, what am I gonna do? And then I'm gonna go here and make money, and then, now I'm gonna go on the foreign. It was all these like external variables. And I realized sitting in this barracks room, like late 30s, right? I'm in late 30s by this point going, what the fuck? Where does this end, man? Am I going to go to Africa and do mercenary shit? And like, am I just going to keep doing this until I catch a bullet? And, or, oh, it's me. I got to like go internal. And, guys who've been incarcerated and stuff, you kind of learn that, okay, your daily program and looking internal and reflection and all that. And I go, all right, I'm going to start getting up early and just institute some more discipline on myself. And that's what I did. And I found getting up early, I felt proud of myself. Took some time to actually think and process all the shit I've seen and done and regrets and all that shit, right? Resentments. And I found in the morning it was just quiet, man. There's no one else around to fuck with you, and you can actually think and process. And that's what I did, dude. And I started doing that and moving a little bit, some push-ups, some stretching, and then a little visualization of where I want to go, and that's it. And then I start my day.
That's it. That's the key. That's the key to discipline, getting up before everybody else and start implementing certain things. If it's reading a book, if it's meditating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the power of starting your day deliberately. Everybody knows, man, it sucks waking up late and being behind the ball. Fucking
100%,
sucks.
yeah.
I don't care who you are. You're like rushing around. Nobody likes that feeling. And I also, in the Foreign Legion, I started getting up early because like, if I got up at the same time as everybody, it was like waiting to shit, shower, shave with all these people. And I'm like, bro, I don't like that feeling. It gives me like massive amounts of anxiety. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get up early, have all my shit done, be changed, like ready, and like reading a book and like casual. And that really helped my psychological landscape just to remain calm. And so I just kept doing it, man. And then when I got out and I got back to the United States, I just kept doing that shit, bro. I kept it moving, and the same shit I did in that Foreign Legion barracks room, I do now in that nice house. I live by a fucking golf course now. It's like, but I just still do it. And my chick knew when we started dating, that's what I do, man. It's like, it's non-negotiable. I'm not a robot. Like, obviously there's days that it's not exactly 3:34, but it's still earlier than anybody else is getting up. And
I think that's a universal language, man. And I say that to say this. I remember when I first started doing time, I was a little undisciplined, I'll say, and sometimes I'd want to sleep in the cell, right? Yeah. But I'll tell you like this, I get up, and if I had an OG for a celly, that dude was up. He already done his fucking his workout, his bed's rolled up, his coffee, he is on his second cup of coffee. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a real universal language for people that have that same type of mentality. Yeah. If it's you or if it's a dude in a cell, a gangster in a cell.
And why is that, right? Why is it that wisdom and that habit kind of starts to get hold of people that start to realize? And if people aren't doing it now and they're like, I'm a night owl. Well, bro, we're not nocturnal as human beings. We're just not designed that way. All right, we're not meant to see at night. Reset your circadian rhythm. And I think that if you're getting up early, I mean, even from the samurai, dude, it was wake up at 4, rise at dawn, eat, train, retire at dusk. They knew this shit thousands of years ago. It's all that collective unconscious, that wisdom that's like plugged in. And when people start to tap into it, I say, the answers are generally found where you don't want to look. So if you hate getting up early in the morning, guess what? That's probably where your answers are going to be found, right? Inner peace and clarity. You lean into purpose over pleasure. Man, I'm sleepy. It's like, man, that ain't hard, bro. It's so like, and I was
that
like,
ain't hard, bro.
But that was me, right? And I'm only speaking to that because that was me. I'm like, man, I don't want to get up, and that negotiation starts. Man, you're tired. You don't need to get up. All these people get up and go to work early, right? Everyone fine, but can you get up early and work on yourself? That's different because you don't have to do it. But when you're doing it and you don't have to do it and you're doing it enough, bro, now you're building reps. Now you're getting reps at psychologically making yourself a little bit more solidified. And dude, you do that enough time and then it just becomes so rooted. It's not hard. Like it would be harder for me to sleep in and then just get up. Just because for so many years of doing it. And I think that's like that guy, that OG in the cell, the same way. There's no way he could sit there and lay there because the anxiety would just be flooding him. And that's what I call crossing the bridge. You cross the bridge when it's like more friction to go back. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna stay over here and just act right, be right. It's a little bit more fucking easy than trying to go back the other way.
Absolutely, man. We got Taylor right here, baby.
Hell yeah.
Sheesh. We need this. This community needs this voice right here. And thank you so much again, brother. So what I want to do, my dog, is I want to, if you can share some of your story of how you got up to the Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
You know, what was the process? You know what I mean? How was family? Do you have a military background with family?
Yeah.
What made you want to get into the, the military?
Yeah, man. I grew up in San Diego, man. So I'm from SoCal. I grew up in like Kearney Mesa area. People familiar? Really in the middle of San Diego. My dad, he was a Marine, but like, he was in 6 and out. Didn't like the Marine Corps particularly, but that's what brought us out to Southern California, man. So I was like in Santa Ana area. There was an old base. It's like old Chinook base, but it's all condos now. But it was in Tustin. So we were living out there, dude. And then he got out and problems with drugs, alcohol. You know, I was kind of nothing crazy. My mom's great. She was a teacher. But man, we had some financial issues, a lot of turmoil, holes in walls and all that type of shit, which I think a lot of people have. But I always knew I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. Like I saw glow lights in San Diego Bay floating, and I asked my dad, I was probably like 7, what's that? And they said, those are Navy SEALs training in the Bay. And I was like, what the fuck? There's motherfuckers out there at night? Like, whoa. So I started reading books. Dude, this was like Blockbuster days too, man. I was like in Blockbuster renting movies, like trying to just figure out. And that commando shit really spoke to me. And it wasn't like I wanted to be Rambo. It was just, I was like fascinated. There's dudes like walking around the jungle and like doing that shit. And so that was in my head. But dude, sidetrack, sports. I played football and shit in high school. But girls, drugs and all that shit. And I went down that path. Got kicked out of high school, possession and stuff. And so ruined a lot of scholarship opportunities and then started dealing drugs and doing drugs and fucking, all that. Got it together though in my kind of early 20s, I should say. But I had to go to jail, man, because I was like, all right, I'm gonna go in the military now. And I went to the fucking recruiter and he's like, dude, you're on probation and you have like fucking pending court cases, dude. You can't, that's not how it works. So no felonies, nothing crazy, right? But I had stacked misdemeanors, right? A lot of them. And some possessions and some other stuff, and DUIs, driving on suspended, just a lot of bullshit, dumb shit. And so this judge sent me to jail. I went to like Bay Area in county. And so I did like 4 or 5 months up there. But, got out and was like, all right, let's do this. Let's fucking go. And the Marines turned me down for tattoos. I had too many. And I didn't have neck or hands, mind you. It was just too much a percentage. I was like, okay, well, let me go to the Army, dude. They'll take me, right? Turned me down for background. They said, you can't get in the military. So now I was like living at my mom's house, riding a bike, sleeping on the fucking couch type thing. Like,
how old are you?
23.
23.
So
okay.
now I'm like, oh shit, dude. Like what you do matters. There's consequences. I was just kind of fucking immature. And I didn't really put together that all this shit I stacked was going to be a problem. And I went to the Navy and I'm like, dude, it was a Hail Mary. And I had written down like the dispositions of my cases and shit. Like, hey, can you work with this? Petty Officer Ramirez, bro. I'll never forget. And he looked at it and he went, yeah, we can work with this, man. He's like, but your job selection is going to be fucking narrow, dude. It's going to be like turd wrangler or fucking Navy SEAL. He's like, if you can pass. And I said, well, because of the drug charges and shit like that, I had a lot. I couldn't do medical stuff. And he said, but if you can pass all the Navy SEAL shit, because it's so hard, like all the screening tests, then you probably could get a contract. And I said, well, that's what I'm here to do anyway, so let's fucking do it. And it took me about a year to get a contract.
I would have thought, and I don't know, obviously, but I know now, but I thought it would be tougher to get into the Navy SEALs opposed to the Marines, right?
Dude, so did I. So did I. And it was because they're like, most people are going to go into this, like, I want to be a Navy SEAL, but they're not just going to give you a contract. I had to pass 9 months of, like, screening tests once a month. I had to get letters of recommendation from active duty SEALs that I would work out with and fucking, but I was committed, man. And
So with the Navy SEALs, they're like, hey, all right, that's your background. kind of sucks. Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to get on this side right here. But if you can pass this test right here, then you made for the
Yeah,
Navy.
they're like, we'll see if you can actually pass this test, right? And a lot of waivers, conduct waivers and stuff. But dude, I was like, who makes the decisions, right? I was figuring, man, I want to get in front of the person who makes the decisions. So I found that guy. And I just worked out with him, dude. He's an old retired Navy SEAL, and he would put guys through workouts, and I would just keep showing up, dude. I fucking hate running, dude. That shit's for the enemy, bro. They were making me run miles, dude. I was puking every day. Yeah. I lost about 40 pounds in 6 weeks, dude. Like, I got out of jail probably 230, and I got down to like 185, something like that, dude, like fast. But I needed it, man, because I couldn't run for shit, dude. And I remember I was like, I'm gonna be a Navy SEAL, let's do this. And like I ran out of my mom's house and I ran around the block, dude, and I fucking couldn't make it all the way around, dude. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a long road. But just kept going, just kept showing up, dude. I'm like, I don't care, I'll just keep showing up until someone tells me to get the fuck out of here. And it took me about 9 months. I got my SEAL contract and then I shipped into the Navy, dude, and went into the SEAL pipeline.
Jeez. Congrats on that.
Thanks, man. I was stacking boxes at Home Depot at night, dude, doing the graveyard night box stacking and then fucking training in the day, bro. That was like my flow for a while.
That's badass. And I've talked a little bit about Jimmy in regards to what it takes to be a Navy SEAL, but they really put you through the ringer on that, huh?
Man, dude,
it's a small percentage that makes it through, right?
Yeah, dude, it was hard, bro. A lot of vetted, badass dudes, bro, would quit and it was.
What does vetted mean? Like they're already in the military?
Yeah, well, some. Yeah,
okay.
Some had, and also some were Olympians, some were fucking pro athletes and shit, and could run and triathletes. And I'm like, oh, dude, like I can't be putting up the numbers these guys would, but they would when shit got cold and dirty, and they just weren't grimy enough, dude. Like they just couldn't dig deep and be like. But for me, I was like, bro, I got nowhere else to go, dude. For me, it was I had painted myself in a proverbial corner, and I think that's important for other people to. Bro, make what you're trying to do the only fucking option.
Jeez.
Like success was the only option, bro, which made it stressful because you can fail shit. It's not just about quitting. Like you can fucking fail runs and swims and obstacle courses and all that shit. And I was just good enough to kind of pass all that shit. And it took about 18 months, man. 18 months of getting your nuts kicked in and like cold and hypothermia and a lot of shit.
When you had to dig deep, when you were in doing this process and you had to dig deep and just say, hey, Taylor, I got this, man.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself. I mean, would you reach out to God? Or you just think about mom's sofa?
Yeah. Probably a mix of all of it. And that's another piece, bro, is I do have I know there's a guiding force, right? I've had a real connection with God and felt like I've been protected in a lot of ways through my life. And so that was always something I felt like I was on a purpose, like a purpose of destiny, man. And I was made it here. Everyone told me it wasn't possible to even get in the military. And now I'm in SEAL training. I'm like, bro, I can't quit. I was also fucking... Dude, I give a shit what people think, dude. I didn't want to look like a bitch, dude, and quit, bro. There was a peer pressure was serious. I didn't want to quit and be like, they're like, oh, dude. So that was some of it. And also, I was terrified of being average, man. I was terrified of not, this is what I wanted to do, and I knew the regret was going to be massive. Like, okay, you're freezing now. You go get the warm shower, then what? Then I already knew what life looked like on the other side, stacking boxes at Home Depot, bro. Fucking everyone being like, oh, dude, you used to be BMOC and now you're fucking riding a bike stacking boxes, dude. Like, I knew that. And I was like, not going back to that. There was just no fucking way.
So you knew you were made to be a SEAL. You knew this was your spot.
I knew there's very few moments in life that I think people can be like, I'm exactly where I need to be. And that was how I felt.
And that's how you felt.
Yeah, I was like, this is exactly where I need to be. And I feel like that now, too. So I feel really blessed but at that moment in my life, I felt gratitude, man. And that's another piece that I know you can tap into is that when you're grateful for where you're at, no matter how shitty it is, dude, that's like a fucking superpower. That's like a superpower because your lens is like, man, I'm stoked to be here. I'm grateful I have the opportunity to be here. And I'm grateful to be around the guys around me. Man, if that guy can fucking do it, dude, you need to see some kid from Iowa, dude, just kind of corn-fed, and just he's handling it. I'm like, bro, I'm not quitting, dude. This guy's, you see guys that you would be like, oh, dude, there's no way, but it's tough. Just fucking tough, dude. However it is that people are raised, and that's the thing is, if you were raised in a tough environment, that's a gift, man.
So looks can be deceiving then.
That's a gift. Yeah, looks are way deceiving, dude. You'd see guys that we were like, oh, dude, this guy's a machine of war, and they'd quit when it got cold, right? Because or a triathlete that was, it's different when you're training and running when you're rested and warm in the sun than when it's nighttime and it's hypothermic and you're, been doing it for days, bro. When you got sand in your fucking crack, dude, and eyes, it's like, it's different.
I think everybody should experience that.
Dude, it's pushing yourself in any capacity. And I think that it's hard to recreate, definitely SEAL training. It's like, but you can push yourself just at home. Just simple things like getting up early. Simple things like taking a cold shower when you don't want to. And I'm not all like the cold shower, cold plunge. I don't think you have to do all that. But every once in a while, I think it's good to kind of sanity check yourself, right?
Put yourself through a little discomfort.
Yeah, put yourself, it doesn't have to be some long drawn out thing, but you're like, man, I'm just gonna get in this cold shower, or I'm gonna get up early this week, right? And just those things, just tighten the dial. Just tightening the dial, right? You don't gotta go through SEAL training necessarily, because I think that's, just particularly for that case, it's useful. But I don't know if it's like useful all the time, because it does break you the fuck down, man.
Yeah, and I want you guys to pay attention to what Taylor's saying, man. Don't go and light yourself on fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to haze yourself. And I think that there's something to be said for, working hard. But I also think you got to be careful of that, like, sadist mentality where, like, if I'm not suffering, I'm not right.
Yeah.
And I think that people can go that direction where they're like, oh, I got to be in pain and things got to suck all the time. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I think there's that nice sway balance, dude. Push yourself, but keep a good perspective on why. Yeah. Why you're doing it.
Absolutely. So you get your contract, you're man, you were probably ecstatic, man. You get pushed through. You make it to be a Navy SEAL, man. Talk about, thank God everyone else rejected you, bro.
Yeah, dude. It felt really like, doors shut and then the right ones open, man. And that was powerful because I was like, oh, that's why all that shit shut down and that's why all this happened. And it was powerful. And then I get picked up for SEAL Team 7. So SEAL Team 7 was kind of like a draft, or you get, assigned orders to. So I got SEAL Team 7, which is in the West Coast of Coronado. So it's cool, man. I'm from San Diego. I'm stationed in San Diego. I'm feeling good. And it was a powerful moment, man. You get up to your locker room. There's a SEAL Team 7 locker room, dude. And it's this whole floor. And you got your cage and your gear. And I'm like, my name's on it. I'm like, God damn. Because I remember walking out of jail and I told this CO, and he goes, I got released on the day after Christmas, right? Midnight, day after Christmas. And he goes, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to go be a Navy SEAL. And just delusional as fuck, like looking at that button. He laughed at me, bro. He was like, okay, man. And good on him. Like, good on him, bro. He laughed because it was ridiculous. It's kind of a statement. 23-year-old kid getting out of jail. I'm going to go do this.
But it was fuel to your fire, too.
Yeah, it was just, but I recognized that I didn't understand the administrative hurdles and things that I needed to go to. But it was powerful still when I saw my name. And I'm like, all right. You can, because so many things didn't go right in my life from my own doing that I was like, I wanted it so bad. I was like, there's no way this is going to fucking happen. Something's going to happen along the way. I'm going to get hurt, just something's going to fucking, but it didn't, man. And I was there, and that was a really cool moment, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And so, man, so how long were you a Navy SEAL for?
7 years.
7 years. That's a long run, brother.
Yeah, dude. I went sniper, JTAC, advent laden specialist. We did some stuff down in Mexico for Obama on the G20 summit. Almost died down there. It was pretty fucking wild, but I almost drowned of all things.
That's how you almost died?
Yeah. And
can you share that story?
Oh yeah. And then we also went to Yemen and Iraq. So I did some cool shit in the SEAL teams, and that was a really special time. But dude, we're down in Mexico in the summer, G20 summit, right? That's like all the big 20 countries, and they were all meeting down in Cabo, and Obama was down there. This was 2012.
And you're hired, or not hired, but your job is to go protect him?
Yeah, so we were doing his maritime extraction force. So anytime they were worried about the cartels kind of swooping him up if he was in transit. And so they had a SEAL team on the Gland, and then they had a SEAL team like off of his like little mansion that he rented, in the fucking country club or whatever, and would kind of parallel where he was going. And we were like kitted up on like ribs at night, fucking night vision, the whole fucking deal. If something popped off, we'd pull him off. So I'm going, but a storm came in, dude. Heavy, big ass storm. And we were on a bigger boat. Then we were jumping onto this smaller boat to like go take refuge in the Cabo fucking bay or whatever. And dude, I hit the side and went in the drink, dude. Full kit, body armor, magazines, pistol, M4 wired into my fucking kick. So I couldn't even get rid of nothing. Not that I would anyway. And backpack, night vision, helmet, everything you could possibly imagine, and like no flotation. None. I had like a small thing, but I couldn't even really get to it.
How much weight is that, you think?
Dude, that was probably 60, 70 pounds, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe a little lighter. Something about that, though.
Yeah.
But heavy enough to where it's like, big swells, and I'm trying to get away from this, the props and all this shit, and 3 a.m. And I'm going down, man, and I probably tread water for no more than a minute or two, but I was smoked, right? I mean, I had no more gas, and I'm like, well, this is how it ends, dude. I was like, I did not see this coming, man. I'm thinking Cabo in the summer, dude, this is gonna be easy, and that was my problem, bro. I just got complacent, right? And I was a new guy, so I hadn't really. Somebody reaches down, pulls me out. It was my, OIC, and he pulls me up. He goes, "Want to lift?" Like fucking just, like this motherfucker.
Like a movie, huh?
And I was soaking wet.
Yeah.
But it scared me in the right ways, because I went, oh, this is like big boy shit now. There's no more railing. There's no more bumpers on the railings. This ain't training. This ain't none of that, dude. Like, it's up to you to keep yourself alive. No one's checking your shit. No, it's like, it's you got to make it happen. And that, I'm glad that happened then, and not in like a real deployment or something, because it really, locked me on, and it made sure that I was fucking wired tight from that point on.
Yeah, you start moving a whole lot more militant in a sense, or I don't know if that's the correct word to use, but anyways, just like, Yeah,
militant, bro. It's just more fucking locked on.
Yeah. 100%. And think about that too. It's like a cinder block, bro.
Dude, it was so heavy, bro.
It's like, here's a cinder block. Good luck, motherfucker.
Dude, it was heavy, dude. And I can swim, man, bro. And I was like, dude, I was smoke checked, maxed out.
Wow, that's crazy, man. And so throughout your time, man, as a Navy SEAL, was there any other stories you could share, brother?
Man, dude, I would say, so Yemen was kind of a, I call it a growing a beard, getting weird fucking deployment. Your low visibility operations, civilian clothes, gray insert, pretty much riding ATVs off the back of a fucking plane at night on like a abandoned Russian airfield, that type of thing. And so that was cool. Eating with the locals. So no deployment I've ever done was like at a big base.
Where's Yemen at?
Yemen, dude, is kind of on the southern tip of Saudi Arabia. So it's on that peninsula right next to Africa, Djibouti. It's right in that channel, right? Indian Ocean. And then it's like right there on the end. So, dude, that's an ancient country, man. It's a trip there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trip.
I've heard of it, but I had to get...
Yeah, dude, it's a powerful country. There's a lot of history there, man. Oh, shit, dude.
So you're out there to do what?
Training the counterterrorism unit, training their internal counterterrorism unit, combat terrorism, building target packages, right? There was Al-Qaeda, Arabian Peninsula out there. So we were there, not like a hot deployment or anything like that, but we were out there for 7 months, and then Iraq was a couple years later. So Iraq was, ISIS, so it was a little bit more intense. Things going on. We're building a base and kind of prepping for this Mosul offensive. But overall, my platoons were pretty good. We didn't lose anybody or anything like that. So it was I was fortunate in that capacity, and had really good teammates, team members. But during this time, dude, I was like good on the field shit. It's like that football player, but I was like a fucking, dangerous off the field, because I would just make poor choices, man. Out partying, doing things, really pushing the line of. And it was selfish of me, because you're thinking about what I want to do. And I want to go out this chick. I want to go here. I want to, party here. And I would be locked on and work hard, but I would push the pace pretty hard off the field.
Does that, when you're a Navy SEAL, or if you're built like yourself, we're talking about yourself, did you feel untouchable?
I would say, yeah. I would say I just didn't even really think about fully the consequences. Because
you felt like you were at a point as a Navy SEAL that there's no consequences.
I would,
because you're protected by the government.
I don't even know if it was that, but it was definitely some ego, right?
Yeah.
It was definitely some ego attached to it, and I don't know if it was a conscious decision about it, but I was just like, man, I'll do what I want, and just I call it like when you get ahead of your skis, like fucking, ooh, and then you yard sale, dude. So I hit a guy in a bar, bro, and we were on a training trip, and that kicked off some serious shit because that kicked off an aggravated assault. That kicked off I had a 6+3 plea deal, and so I'm going to Iraq on bail with a pending trial, facing 6 years in prison when I got back, dude. So I was stressed the fuck out, hemorrhaging cash for attorneys and stuff, and it was. And I always say, dude, and I did it to myself, right? Putting yourself in situations that are, you think you have all the controls in place. Like, man, I'm not gonna drive to the bar, right? But I'm gonna get to the bar and just fucking turn it on, but that's dangerous too, right? And then it wasn't like, you can't control what somebody else does either. You
think you're taking precautions by not driving to the bar, but then you get to the bar, and we got this guy at the bar.
Yeah, and you're fucking dangerous, right? And I got burned, right? I got bit. And so now all that stressful things coming, and, it's very hard to get ahead and stay ahead, man, when you're not really living right. And I hadn't corrected the issues. That was really the truth, bro. I square the case away, get things going, get kind of back on it. Now I'm kind of getting promoted again. Now I get the momentum back, and what happens, right? Fucking peaks and valleys. I always say, dude, self-sabotage is a fucking bitch. And people do it, and I say it's always times during celebration. People self-sabotage during celebratory moments, which is fucking asinine, but I've done it a bazillion times. Because you're like, shit's great, let's break it all fuck down, right? But people do it. They get promotions, they get the money or this or that, and they go out and then fucking do something dumb or whatever, and now you're picking up pieces. And that's what I did again, and I got all that cleared up, and then I, fucked up again, and that was it, dude. That was what put the nail in the coffin on my SEAL career. And so after that, I went back to jail, cleaned the shit up, and when I walked out of jail, I was
So you actually had to do prison time, or not jail time, I'm sorry.
Just jail, it was my second go around there, and it was really just commuting my sentence, getting off the books, doing a little bit of time.
But brother, you're a Navy SEAL, man. You know what I mean? I would think that the DA see that, the court see that, the judge see that, just like, man, this dude is, he's here protecting our country, man. We just gonna let's just get rid of this shit.
Well, it probably didn't hurt, it helped a little bit, but some of it did hurt because they're like, why is this Navy SEAL fucking in here in our town, causing problems? He should fucking know better, like that type of thing. And it was on the news, and so it just didn't look good. The optics on it were bad. So they were just trying to kind of make me burn for it as a kind of an example. And so I was getting burned from both sides, the military side, which has their own judicial process, and also the civilian side, and also the civil side, because I was getting sued. So it was like coming from every angle, bro. But like I said, dude, nobody can do to us what we do to ourselves, man. It was
self-sabotage, man.
Dude,
I've done it all my life, bro.
Yeah, bro. And that's my whole thing now is like, how do we correct that? Right? How do we correct that revolving door of self-sabotage? And for me, it's those non-negotiable, those basic tenets, right? Those
waking up early in the morning.
Waking up early, it sets me, like, I wasn't doing that stuff then. I wasn't doing like the consistent stuff, and also fucking saying no to myself, right? Which is, I didn't realize how much I said yes to myself until I started saying no to myself.
Yeah.
I realized, I was like, oh, I pretty much do whatever the fuck I want, like all the time. And I'm like, dude, but I saw where that led me, because as we'll go further on the story, when I got out of the military, bro, I went into the construction world, I was kind of got into a supervisor position. We're doing all right, dude. And then I move into the cannabis industry. We build a fucking facility out in Palm Springs. And I'm like, now I'm pitching decks. Now I'm like doing a lot of shit. And dude, during this time, I had no governor on now. So I had Adderall, Xanax, alcohol, weed, every fucking day, dude. And then about a year into that, I started sniffing fentanyl at night. Opiates, dude, and I was doing this every fucking day because I'm disciplined as fuck when it comes to everything, bro. Bad and good.
We ain't gonna miss a day with this fentanyl. But this is after the SEALs?
This is after SEALs, bro.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, dude. So this was after SEALs. So I was making money, spending money. Like, I'm making a decent amount of money, living paycheck to paycheck still, right? Because I was just fucking no discipline. But I was still like go to the gym and still kind of like, I had the girlfriend in the fucking nice truck, and I was like, nobody can tell me shit, bro. Obviously what I'm doing's working, but you can't bend reality that fucking long. You just can't, dude. You can't bend the fucking karmic debt long enough before it comes crashing down, and it did, bro. It came crashing down hard on me where, you know, fell down, did a fucking, you know, it was like the third or fourth time I'd gone pretty much tits up, dude, and it was just kind of in a business set, not out of fucking business, but my boss had found out, my chick had walked in the fucking bed, and I'm bleeding. It's just a lot of shit, right? It all came crashing down. Now I'm kind of pushed out. Now girl's gone, car's gone, truck, everything's gone, right? And money's gone, everything's gone. And I found myself, bro, in my truck, just fucking, I actually dropped Jimmy Watson off at the fucking airport, dude. By chance, he had come out to see me where I was. He was going through his own shit, right? From 3-letter agencies were up his ass. So we were both in it at the same time. But I remember I dropped him off at the airport and I drove and I was like, holy shit, I got no gas. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. And I look at my bank account, I'm like, fuck, I got no money. And I went, all right, let me just park and fucking figure this shit out for a minute. Usually the phone call always comes, or I always had some out, or I figured something out. And I turned the car off, bro. And I remember it was like the whole world just came crashing down, dude. And I fucking sat there. I was like, any minute, dude. My phone, that thing didn't fucking ring for 3 days, bro. And I had a sawed-off shotgun next to me on my fucking, on my passenger seat, dude. And I was just thinking about icing myself for like 3 days. Because I was like, dude, fucking tired. I was like, dude, I got no more title, no more nothing, no more fucking, no way to point and like lie anymore. There was nothing to point at. And I realized, bro, I was like, oh shit, this is how it happens. It just fucking, and it all came crashing down. And I sat there for a few days, dude, just kind of debating like, what the fuck happened, you know? And then I thought about my mom, my sister, right? You know, and I had, dude, people that loved me, and I was just isolating. I'm like, you fucking pussy. That's like that authentic voice of God that came in and was like, you baby back bitch. Listen to your like internal dialogue. And it was me, I. It was very self-centered. If I played the tape back of my internal dialogue, that's how it would have sounded. Yeah. And I went, you know what? If I'm gonna die, bro, I'm gonna do it with my boots on. We're gonna do it like a fucking savage. So I was like, I'm going to the French Foreign Legion, bro. So I took some fast cash loans out, sold my shit, and like 8 days later, I was in France, bro.
Wow.
That's how that happened.
That's nuts, brother.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to take a quick break. I want to pay some sponsors, and we're gonna be right back with Taylor, man. This is an absolutely amazing story, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes. Hey, everybody, right here at Hood Stocks. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you, my G's, my Goonies. We're in a little bit of a rebuilding stage, man. You know what I mean? And we appreciate the ones that are here. We value your support 1,000%. And with that said, Hood Stocks is sponsored by Shockaware. All right. Shockaware is more than streetwear. It's culture, lifestyle of individuality, and self-expression through clothes. I want you guys to go to shockaware.com, use HoodStocks15, get yourself 15% off. Looking for some good quality cannabis? I mean, quality cannabis. Hit up the folks at Killakush. They specialize in bringing you the best quality available from OG to exotic.
I did it all, baby.
I want you to hit them up at Killakushcali@gmail.com. And matter of fact, that's their email. You know what I mean? I don't know what you want to do with their email on a Sunday. You know what I mean? But go ahead and send the bro an email if you need, you know, maybe maybe bulk or something like that is probably what an email might be good for. And these are all legal transactions, by the way. Or you can pull up on them at Drip Fits Apparel in Whittier for the latest Killakush merch drops, and they are located at 13800 Leffingwell Road, City of Whittier. We're also sponsored by my dog Ozempic Vince. LA Peptides has all your weight loss needs, including Ozempic, Mounjaro, and they got their own proper parody pen. Pen that comes with money back guaranteed. Tap in with Ozempic Vince, and his phone number, his personal phone number is 714-269-1900. Shit, you didn't hear it from me, but you might be able to get some TRT from him as well, you know what I mean? And that's a game changer too, especially when you're like in your 40s and stuff like that, you know what I mean? The TRT starts dipping a little bit, you know what I mean? You're just like, man, I feel old, but you're not old, dog, you know what I mean? You just, you know, you gotta do some things, man, to raise the fuck back up, if you know what I mean. Calling all bakers and chefs, upgrade your kitchen with Origin Bakery equipment, restaurant equipment, all right? Top quality of ovens, mixers, and more at unbeatable prices, perfect for your next culinary creation. I want you to visit Origin today in South Omani, or check them out online, Origin Bakery Equipment, and their personal phone number is 626-579-3580. Hey, we're also sponsored by BOP. It's time to raise up. Hey, you guys want to find out if you qualify for a house, you want to get out there an apartment, prime equity mortgage, all right? My dog dog. He owns the company. His name is Andrew. It's free to find out if you qualify for a house. You can call him right now at 626-825-6565. And I believe this year the economy is going way up, dog, and you're going to be in a great position. You know what I mean? Especially when we get rid of IRS and all that other stuff. Well, we're going to see what happens. But anyways, hey, you guys ready to upgrade? You guys ready to upgrade for a new gold chain? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I saw you walking down the street with that fat girl. You know what I mean? I know it's tax season, dog. You know what I mean? You know, you're gonna get your taxes, dog, and you're gonna skip. You know what I mean? You know, hey, it is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? That's why fat girls love this time of the season, because they get themselves a handsome dude, and then you get yourself a fat check, and then you get the fat check, and you go to D. Leo, the jeweler, and get yourself a gold chain. And this personal number is 323-899-0001. Shout out to all the fat girls out there, all the tortas, you know what I mean? Hey, are you guys ready for man's best friend? Well, shit, I was a week ago, and I picked up my Rottweiler puppy, all right? Well, Rottweiler Mafia, the best Rottweiler breeder in the United States, you know what I mean? Call them today and order a puppy, you know what I mean? Place an order for a puppy, and that phone number is 424-666-9929. We're also sponsored by fucking, Doug Sherrod, man. That's our criminal defense attorney that we have on retainer. You know what I mean? Why? Because we're a fucking Hoodstocks podcast, you know? And you never know, bro, when we might need a retainer. You never know, Casey might have to beat up a guest, bro. Like maybe Taylor, you know what I mean? Maybe he wants to fucking fight Taylor today, you know what I mean? You know, and then Taylor sues him, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, don't trip, Casey, we got a fucking a criminal defense attorney, you know what I mean? Because, you know, Casey's got mad hands, man. But anyways. Hey, man, those are some squabbles right there, dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So you guys can reach our lawyer at kingkonglawyer.com, all right? I see everybody tapped in, man. I love you guys. I know it's Sunday morning. A lot of you guys aren't up. You know what I mean? Hey, sponsored by, Boss Gang 21 is back in the chat. Shout out to Boss Gang, man.
Yeah.
He's a wild man right there, man. You know, you guys got to go check them out on, hey, Casey, what's your social security number? Yeah, man, that would be some shit right there. Casey, just give it out of social security. Hey, but we're back with Taylor, baby. Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, yeah.
Kavanaugh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to.
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to give it a little fucking Kavanaugh.
Dude, I like it. I like a little bit of exotic flavor on it.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to spice it up a little bit. So when all else fails, there's an entity called the Foreign Legions.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that where all the fuck ups go?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like this. I'll hit that on, but I saw an interesting thing a guy typed on the chat here. He goes, you know, it's amazing how you could be so strong and be so weak. And I agree. I agree with that statement. He's you know, and it's what it is though is moral weakness, right? Spiritual weakness, right? And that's tougher to, I would say, build, and also it's tougher to see, right? And so that I 100% agree with him, bro. That moral clarity and that moral choice, dude. Yeah, you can be. When we see people all the time, right? Tough ass motherfuckers, dude, that maybe make a lot of bad choices and do things, right? Because you got to have that pairing, and really, you got to train both, right? And I think that takes a lot of restraint, takes good discipline, you know. And I'll challenge that guy too and say, hey, man, you know, are you making every savage decision that is making you live to your fullest potential, right? Because that's how you build it, right? It's easy to cast stones, right? It's easy to point fingers, but you know, always make sure before we're doing that, then we take a look at ourselves being like, man, am I really hitting that level that I know I'm possible, that I can hit, you know? And so,
100%.
yeah, man. And so, dude, the Foreign Legion is like a 200-year-old institution that was started by an old king in France to get foreigners out of his bars and fucking causing problems back onto the battlefield and fighting for France. And the carrot was French citizenship. So it's modeled after the Roman legions. So, you know, Rome would go and conquer all these fucking places. They would take places and they'd say, hey, okay, you're going to fight for Rome, right? And it's going to be hard as shit, and you got to serve a time, but you'll be a Roman citizen if you serve your whole contract. That's exactly what they do in the Foreign Legion. And so you got a lot of guys, 150 nations represented in the Foreign Legion, bro. So it's like a lot of guys from Eastern Bloc, Ukraine, Romania, Hungary, all those fucking spots. But then you got a bunch of South America. You go Colombia, Venezuela, a lot of guys from there, Brazil, a lot, and a lot of countries in Africa, right? You got South Africans, all the way Chad, Mali, all those spots too. So Thailand, Mongolia, everything else in between, man. So it's a trip, dude. And then like one American, fucking me, dude. There's not a lot of Americans over there, bro. And so that's it. And it was kind of a unit built for like the thieves and murderers. That's kind of how, dude, there's no tattoo regs. You got motherfuckers coming in there, faces blasted, bro. And so it's a very trippy thing. You see, guys in full uniform, fucking head tats and shit, dude.
Have they ever made a movie about that?
Dude, they have. Yeah, they're gonna do it. I'm gonna write the fucking story, but
bro.
Yeah, we'll do a good one, a nice new age one. But they do have one. I think Van Damme did one.
Okay.
Jean-Claude Van Damme did something on the Foreign Legion, and there's been some other ones, but not like a big production. But I've heard they're trying to make one in Hollywood. I've had some contacts be like, "Hey, dude, we got to do a fucking movie on that shit."
100%, brother.
Yeah, it's a trip, bro, because and kind of the process, so people know it's a big process of getting selected, because you come in, they're like on the pull-up bar, they give you an IQ test, just a real basic one. They search your bags, and then you're in civilian clothes doing the initial processing. And so you go knock on the door, bro.
Yes. Go back to that.
Yeah, they have two spots, one down in South France at the headquarter regiment, and then one on the east outskirts of Paris, and just like a fucking neighborhood, but it's a base.
Let me ask you a question, brother. So do you have to have military background to join?
No.
No.
So the age bracket is 17 and a half to 39 and a half.
Damn.
17 and a half to 39 and a half is the age window. And you come, you knock on the door, you give them their passport, and then you start this process, and they check your teeth, your legs, your, whatever, and they do the medical checks, then they do a psychological evaluation. Are you fucking crazy? They'll do and they'll interview you in English, mind you. The country that you're from, they'll interview you in. But they really want to know, like, what the fuck are you doing here, right? Yeah. That's like a real basic thing. And so I told them, man, I'm like, bro, I fucking ruined my life when I need a second chance, So they knew I was a former SEAL. I brought my military paperwork, but you don't need military background. And so, because they'll teach you what they need to teach you. And that was the process. I told them, I've been arrested and this. They're not the Boy Scouts, right? They know you're there for some shit probably didn't go right. And so that's why you're there. But some guys do it for the money. So there's like three types of guys that joins the Foreign Legion. There's the guy running from some legal problems. There's the guy who's the romantic who like wants to fucking, I'm going to go into the Legion and live, some romantic life. Those guys get fucking smoke checked pretty quick, dude, because it's not like that. Yeah. And then you got like the more pragmatic guy that's doing it for the money and the passport. That was probably like kind of a mix of, a couple of them. And, but that was it, dude. And some of those guys coming from like Brazil and stuff, dude, it's a pay increase. For us, it's like a pay chop. It's just military infantry pay. Yeah. It's nothing special. But I was down to pick the pen back up, man, and like write my story again. I had never heard of a Navy SEAL being a Foreign Legionnaire. And it turns out I'm the only fucking one to ever do it. Are
you serious?
Yeah, dude, only one to ever do it. So
wow.
So that was at least on record. So but nobody of any, recent time has done it. So that was a long process of like, dude, there's some concern of hazing and fucking, dude, they used to bury people in fucking up to their neck in sand down in Algeria and shit. So there's some crazy books out there, and the hazing is pretty gnarly. And
for the Foreign Legion. Yeah,
it's because you got to remember who's there. A lot of Eastern Bloc guys that grew up fucking, for 3 months I ate mice. They're fucking hard, bro. We forget that a lot of these areas of the world, like what we think's poverty, bro, is not poverty. There's some fucking guys that grew up rough, and
savage shit.
Savage, I'm not saying we all got it easy here, but there's some rough spots out there in the world. And those guys coming out of some dark hole in Russia, and they're tough, bro. And so
do the Russian guys usually stick out, bro?
More
than others?
Maybe a little bit. That culture's kind of intense, and so some of the guys are a little rough around the edges. But dude, like people are people anywhere.
Yes.
People are people anywhere, and when you really connect with people, because you got to remember, we don't all speak the same fucking language.
Yeah.
So we all had to learn French. mandatory, bro. If they hear you speaking English, you get fucking just destroyed. So I had to learn French. I spoke no fucking French showing up there, bro. Zero. So you're learning French, they're learning French. You're kind of like joking around with each other. You know, we all speak dog shit French, you know? So it's like, we all just like, but you have that shared hardship, right? You're all going through it in the same frame. And so there's that shared hardship, you know, anybody, families and stuff. That's why we bond, man, because we experience pain together. And so that's what was happening. And it was, you know, after first initially going through the selection and stuff, it's in the French Pyrenees, cold as shit, dude. They run a ton, which I'm like, you know, now I'm 34 going in through that shit, dude. I was not like some spring chicken, dude. I was like, fuck, bro. You know, like having to put the run shoes back on and going on fucking 5, 10, 15, 20 mile runs, dude. I was like, God damn. But we did it, and I went to the like mountain regiment. I got sent to like the mountain regiment, which was fine. But I fucking hate the mountains, man. You know?
Why do you hate the mountains?
I don't like hiking up them, you know, okay. And I don't like the cold. But it was a good regiment to go to because they were deployed a lot, you know, and so they ended up sending us to South America, bro, to combat like illegal gold mining and shit happening in the rainforest. That was pretty wild. We were down there for 4 months. And interesting, man. A lot of people don't know. I didn't know France has territory down in South America. I had no fucking idea, bro. It's called Guyane Francais, French Guyane. And it's just north of Brazil, just east of Venezuela, right in the middle. And there's a fuck ton of gold down there, man. It is like the Wild West, bro.
So people are over there like bootlegging,
mining, and there's legal mines that we would like kind of protect. And then there's a lot of illegal mines that were just a lot of them, you know, and they would have whole cities built, dude. Karaoke bars and shit in the middle of the fucking jungle, dude. We'd be hiking going, oh, damn. But it was an interesting experience, but the Foreign Legion is tough, man. It's very disciplined. It's kind of like the Marine Corps, I would say, in terms of discipline. Very tight haircuts, saluting, you know, every time you walk into a room, if you fucking walk across the grass wrong in the Foreign Legion, they'll put you in fucking jail. They have their own little jails at the regiment. So it's strict, man. You know, you're checking into buildings, you're checking out of buildings, you're getting your fucking shit searched through the gate on the way in, drug tested and all that shit. Wow. Yeah, but it's like, it's not like here where it's zero tolerance. Like, dudes pop for like coke and shit over there. They're like, you motherfucker. Yeah. Now pick up this rock and run for 3 days. That's serious, dude. That's serious. They're not kicking you out. They're not kicking you out because they know dudes will fucking like get kicked out on purpose. They're like, we're not letting you go that easy, motherfucker. Yeah. Like, you're gonna pick this rock up, and I'm being dead serious. They make you run 15 kilometers, like holding a fucking rock, dude. Is like
what is 15 kilometers?
That's like 7 miles, probably.
Wow.
6 miles, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. It was an interesting experience. We did some stuff with NATO on the Russian border, right? We were tasked up there with working with the United Kingdom and the Danish, and did some interior deployments with doing anti-terrorism domestic missions, internal of France, dude, like patrolling the Riviera and shit, dude, like with an HK, like just walking across the beach, dude, Green Beret, fucking fatigues, and over there it's not weird, dude. They're like, hey, oui, merci. You know, they don't even care, bro. You got topless chicks and shit just walking around. So it was cool, bro. There were some cool moments. Hard, though. You know, a lot of years of just kind of... And also just I had this... But I was glad I had that time. You know, like that isolation, because I needed it to, like, process. Get off, fucking build new habits, cut away all the bullshit, stop doing, like, the drugs and all that shit, dude. I really needed to separate from all that. And I was, dude. I had no social media, nothing. I was completely isolated over there for, you know, a lot of years. And it was helpful for me because I started just building my systems, learning how to, like, do the right shit on the weekends, you know, and not, like, just break my old habits, break the old shit I used to do. Because even at the beginning there, man, I was still kind of fucking up a little bit on the weekends. Like, I'd have a bad weekend or whatever. And I remember walking down to this chick's house one time, you know, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this shit no more. I was just like, this is not who I want to be. I was walking out of this like shitty apartment, and I'm going, dude, I feel like shit. This is not, I want to hold myself to a higher standard. And that's kind of like where I shifted, right? Where I kind of was like.
You were reflecting, I want to rewind it a little bit, brother. So you're reflecting on your life and your position in life at the time of walking out of some chick's apartment. I mean, was the pussy that bad, bro?
Yeah, it was good. The problem was it was good, but I didn't feel good.
about how you were living. And
Yeah,
what you were
dude.
doing.
But I didn't feel good about it, and everybody knows, dude. We could all talk ego, about like, but the truth was, I knew I was hemorrhaging energy, and I'm like, it's like late and fucking, and I'm like, dude, I want to be living better, feeling better, and like not hemorrhaging energy. And we're also stacking karmic debt, dude. People think like you got to be pushing grandmas in the street to be stacking karmic debt. You can just not be living right. And we all feel it, that anxiety after a fucking night out. You've done some dumb shit, dude. That Mr. Scary?
Yeah.
Fuck Mr. Scary, dude. I really fucking got just sick of dealing with it, and I dealt with it for fucking decades. Regret, shame, dude, and that, on the map of consciousness, people that have kind of like know what I'm talking about, guilt and shame is at the bottom, the very fucking bottom. Guilt, shame, anger, apathy is even higher up. But guilt and shame, dude, they say 85% of the world's population is caught in the guilt-shame loop.
I've been caught in that part of my life.
Yeah, dude. And it takes deliberate work, bro. Like, I'll still deal with it, Anger, breaking character, fucking you're like, you don't feel good. You can't grow stuck down here. If you eliminated anything in the day that causes you guilt and shame, you're fucking shocked by what you can accomplish, right? It can be just eating too much, sleeping in, lipping off at the old lady, breaking character, fucking just small things. They can be small violations, right? It doesn't have to be like super big, but regret's your guideline. If you're like, fuck, dude, I don't really feel good about that, fucking cut it. Try to improve, right? It doesn't need to be like major course corrections always, but that's just something that I continuously do now. I ain't no perfect fucking thing, dude. Every day I gotta stay deliberate with it, because it's easy for me to fucking be like, that voice started that negotiation, man, just take that hard left and the fucking, whatever, or do this. It's like, I got to be constantly aware of that, because I have whatever that is inside me that wants to fucking burn it all down. It's like easy. It's too easy. And you can talk yourself into it fucking even easier.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to ask you just a personal question from myself. Sometimes I go out running, like you said, man. You said something earlier, man. The only one that should be running should be the enemy, right? I like that. But we want to stay fit, and running is a great thing to do to stay fit and kind of clear the mind and shed some weight. Shed some baby fat at 47 years old, right here.
Yeah.
And sometimes, brother, like it's hard because I work out by myself, right? So, you got someone else, a partner, we could push each other, right? And so for just people, and this can be universal in life, you know what I mean? But when you're running, you run that first lap, all right, you run that second lap, and then it comes a third lap, and you're like, well, you know what? I think I'm just gonna walk this lap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you do at that point? You know what I mean? When the person feels like in life, I'm gonna walk this third lap.
Dude, that's a very fucking important question, and it's hard, dude, because let's take that analogy, running, and it's really hard to push yourself when no one's looking, right? And so I always like to say this, man, zoom out a little bit. Think of aggregate. I like to think of aggregate work, right? If you're like, dude, I can go 2 hard laps, then push those 2 fucking laps hard. But if you're like on the third one, you want to walk, fucking walk it, then sprint 2 more. Right? You see, because it's about sustainability. Like, are you going to show up every day and fucking push yourself to that? Some people can. For me, it's very difficult to push yourself physically in that realm. Like, every day you got to dig into some deep, dark fucking place. That's hard to do. And I like to think about, I want to be doing shit till I'm 80. So it's like, all right, what can you do every day? Right? You're like, man, I could fucking do some sprints. Mix it up too. Change some shit up. Man, hit that two laps hard. Jog it. Get your bearings back. Build up that willpower a little bit. All right, I could do 2 more. Boom, hit 2 more. Right? Yeah. Now you've done a little bit more than you were going to do anyway. It's not the walking that's bad. Just don't let that stop you. Be like, use it as just a pace. Man, I can do that. I can show up again, and that's because you didn't kill yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not about killing myself in the workouts or in anything I do, right? I like to enjoy the shit I do. So make sure the shit you enjoy, because you'll do it. Yeah. Right? If you're gonna fucking dread fucking going, you're gonna stop. You just won't keep doing it. And that's why, like, CrossFit and shit, it's useful, but are you gonna go that hard for fucking 10 years? I like to zoom out. So I just try to make the food correct, because I know I'm not gonna kill myself in the fucking workouts, so I just make my food a little bit tighter. Not crazy, not like crazy calorie deficits or something, but just I like to enjoy the things, and I like to do it to build my energy, because it's the consistency and the reps, bro, over years. You show up every day and you do your real run that you like, right? All right, well, the guy who pushed himself super hard for 2 weeks stopped, but you keep going for 5 years. I got news for you. You're going to win, right? That's how I think of things.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think in life too, or it can be in life, or just working out, or the analogy that we're using and talking about. I mean, we can get complacent.
Yeah.
Even with everything, you know what I mean. So I just sometimes I find myself complacent. Like, okay, I'm going to the gym, but am I really going hard? I mean, is there results? I mean, you can go to the gym. I've seen people at my gym there for years, and they still look the same, bro. And I'm probably one of those guys too.
Yeah.
At a certain point, And so now we're doing the right thing, but we're still complacent in what we're doing. I mean, I guess that's more of my thing in life, you know what I mean? That I want to just I gotta, I want to push myself, man. I need to get to the next level, man. Just because I go to the gym every day doesn't necessarily mean, I'm doing the right thing. What if I'm going to the gym? I'm just doing a couple things and be like, all right, I'm good. I feel good in my head. I make myself feel good. You know what I mean? I showed up to the gym, you know what I mean? But,
Well, that was me, dude. And I was working out in the Foreign Legion, and dude, my energy, I felt like shit. This was kind of years in. And I was like, man, my energy's shit. I was still kind of holding fat. I'm like, man, what I was doing in my 20s isn't working the same, And I was just like, but I realized that it was my own ego. I was like, I'm a SEAL, I'm a Legionnaire. No one can tell me how to eat and train. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Well, the truth was I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I reached out to somebody, famous in the fitness and mindset space, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing for your food? I just didn't understand the food. And so it showed me how to track macros and do this shit. But when I got results super fast, and I just didn't really change what I was doing, right? That was massive when I realized how important the food was, and I go, it doesn't need to suffer, and I just need to know the percentages. That was major, and my energy went up, which I liked. And so that's why I say, if you're doing something, just like in a business setting, dude, I'll tell you what, if I'm trying to learn real estate, I'm not going to sit there and fumble fuck it for 5 years and spend a bunch of money and not get any, fail a bunch. I'm going to go to somebody and go, what the fuck do I do? Show me.
100%.
So I can do it faster, right? Yeah. And I think that's what people talk about coaching and stuff, and they're like, oh, I'm not paying some. I'm like, well, I do it. I hire coaches, man, because I need the results faster. I don't want to waste my fucking time, dude. It's worth how much money are you going to spend fumble fucking it for however long? You might figure it out, or you might not, and so there's people that already know what the fuck. Don't recreate the wheel. And so that was helpful for me, and I think a lot of people could be useful for that. But also, it's hard to stay motivated when you're not getting results.
Yeah,
it's hard, dude. And so the results are what kind of keep you in the game.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, dude, oh shit, I'm seeing a fucking riblet, popping out, dude. You're like, oh, hell yeah. And that's invigorating. And that feels good. And now you see the scale going down fucking 5 pounds in a week. You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a cool feeling. And I think, what's that worth? Man, that's worth a lot to me. And so, but also on the intensity piece, you can see, I could push it a little bit harder, 10% harder, right? And that's how I think about incremental adjustments. The Japanese call it Kaizen, right? Small incremental adjustments over time. It's just a little here. You're like, yeah. If you're doing it, but you're like, man, am I really contracting the muscle? Did I really fucking push it on that last rep? That's just a slight adjustment. But if you do that for 5 years, now it's major change.
Consistently making slight adjustments.
Yeah, consistent slight adjustment. I could focus mind-muscle connection a little bit more. I could push the intensity just a little bit, right? Don't set the bar so far. You're like, oh, I'm going to kill myself today. It's like, because you're not going to do that every day.
So that's the answer that I was looking for, brother. And thank you so much to get into the answer, the exact answer. So the answer is every single day, guys, slight adjustments. And that's applicable for anybody, but especially for the normal person.
Dude, it's
slight adjustments. That's not going to kill you. Slight adjustments not going to kill you.
And that's what keeps you in the game, right? Because that old cliche is so true. It's like, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. And so the journey is the slight adjustments. The journey is like, okay, because dude, I don't care what level you get to. There's going to be another one. And there's guys who get on stage, professional, bodybuilders and shit, dude, they're still not happy. Like there's no There's no line. And so what is it? And then that means the game is slight adjustments, because I don't care if you're just starting from zero. The minute you start working, you're like, I'm going to go for a walk today. Like I have people I'll work with, like 70-year-old grandmas who haven't fucking worked out, bro. And then they're like, okay, let's walk. Can you walk 20 minutes? I walked 20 minutes. I felt good today. Boom. That's the start, right? That's the slight adjustment.
Ain't nothing greater than a 70-year-old grandma sliding into your DM, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's what's up.
But so that you now, let's do it like this. So how long were you in the Foreign Legion?
4.5 years.
4.5 years. So you come to a point of getting out the Foreign Legion.
Yep.
Okay, and that you felt. I mean, how does one get to a point where is it a contract that you're done with?
Yep. Yeah. And so for me, man, there was some. So I wanted to get my story out, so I put my fucking camera down, man, and I'm on my YouTube. People can go down on my YouTube and see.
And your YouTube is
TCAV TV.
Okay.
And so people can go down. I do all my stories. I call them stories. I started at 1, right, and now I'm at 150 or something. But I do 2 weeks. Bro. But I started stream of consciousness, no edits. 7-8 minutes, just me talking about my story. My first ones are in the Foreign Legion barracks room. You'll see me in a barracks room with my fucking uniform on. And so I started doing that.
So you've documented this whole thing.
Oh, dude, I've documented it from Foreign Legion barracks room all the way to fucking living on a golf course with the fucking new baby, man. And the hot fiance, bro. It's been.
I'm gonna make time to go through your YouTube.
Yeah, you should look at it.
Yeah, 100%. And I apologize for not doing my homework before, but it's just been super.
Dude,
hectic,
we're all
bro.
busy, dude. It's more just like telling the story, but it's me telling all the ugly stuff too, man. It's, hey, I was suicidal and now I'm in the Foreign Legion. I'm a former Navy SEAL. I just dropped it. And so the Legion had a little issue with that, right? And so I had some.
You documenting your.
Yeah. And so, well, they weren't, it was fine until it blew up. It went like fucking pretty big fast.
Yeah.
I mean, my first upload did whatever, and the second one got 600,000 views, and that, it just.
Wow.
So that was fine until it got big, and then they were like, oh, we don't want this guy to say some fucking weird shit. So I understand their side of it. But the truth was, I was getting hundreds of emails, them going from former Marines and former military guys going, hey, dude, I was going to kill myself. I saw your video, and I fucking decided not to. I appreciate that. Hundreds. So I was like, damn, dude, like, oh, that's what's up. There's something here. So I was like, I'm not taking that shit down. They're like, we're going to put you in fucking jail. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking it down. And so we had like a fucking legal battle. But I'm not a citizen of France. And so I'm in this weird gray area. I don't even, I'm not a citizen. I'm not a resident. My lawyer was like, bro, you might as well just break this contract and fucking go home, right? And so that was it. But I was pretty much done anyway. So
what broke the contract was your documentary, you documenting.
It was just, and I understand their side. So but it's just irreconcilable differences.
But you guys were able to just like.
Yeah, they're like, go ahead, go your way. I'm going my way.
Okay,
that was it. So
thank you for your service, type of thing.
Yeah. It was like you're good, but. Yeah. They weren't fucking happy. We weren't going to come to an agreement. So that's fine. But I was done anyway. So I wasn't going to stay there. I was going to come back anyway. And, and I was scared, man, about, only time I had been in a civilian world had not gone well, and I'm like, what am I going to do? So
you were going to kill yourself. That's what got you to foreign.
So I was scared,
you had no
bro.
gas in the tank.
Yeah, I had a lot of fear, what the fuck am I going to do? How am I going to make money? What am I going to, how am I going to live? And am I going to go the mercenary route? And so, but it was time, and so came back to the United States and just telling my story and working with guys. And that's how that all kind of process happened, man. How kind of building into the business I do now.
And the business you do now is?
All coaching, mindset, fitness, whole package stuff. So I really just kind of reset people's days, from business owners to former veterans, women, because everybody's better with a better disciplined day.
100%.
So I'll build like a structure, man. Hey, get up at this time, take these supplements, do this workout, eat like this. Here's how you track your food. Here's your macronutrient distribution. Here's where you need to be. Boom. And then that gives people this momentum. And then everything I do is one-on-one. So I don't AI shit. If you ever DM me, you're talking to me. You email me, you're talking to me. My website comes to me. I don't fucking have outsourced anything.
Yeah.
And all the stuff I do is one-on-one. So all the Zooms, everything I do with all my clients is direct, right? And at least for now, that's what I've been doing.
how effective is it to have an online coach opposed to, I mean, it's a new world we live in, right? You know, opposed to having the in-gym coach or the in-person coach. I mean, could it be just as effective as long as the person on the other side, and I'm talking about your side, the other side is handling their business?
Yeah, I think it's helpful because there's a little bit more mobility, right? You have a little bit more freedom to fucking, you know, are you always going to show up at that gym at that time with that person? Like, how often are you going to do that? When there's always things that come up, they have access to me, you know, my phone or my email or text or whatever. They can, hey man, what do you think? I'm traveling, or hey, I got a family gathering. We got a huge dinner coming up. What do you suggest? That type of thing, man. And also, I'll kind of give tips and tricks that help for me. And truthfully, man, I don't give a fuck what people do. Just, you know, get moving in a direction, right? If you need to have somebody in person, do it, man. You know, and I always say if there's some kind of voice telling you, man, I could be a little better, but I just don't know what the fuck to do. Well, then reach out to somebody who fucking knows what to do. Right? Yeah. And that's what I did, bro, and I'll still do it. And then with unapologetically, dude, Michael Jordan had a fucking coach. You know, it's like the best in ever, dude. Pro athletes have fucking 6. You know, it's like, dude, you need outside counsel so you can't see the holes in your own game. And also, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna get the same results. So you need new information.
What does that go? What is kind of like a price range that goes for to get someone like yourself, you Taylor, as their coach? What is that? What is the price? What does that run for?
So I do like monthly check-ins and weekly email check-ins. We'll do like 3 months for $750 total.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then it goes up, $1,300 for 6 months, and I do 2 Gs for a year.
Okay.
2 Gs for a year, and that's that's generally the baseline pricing structure. I also have an elite, which we do weekly Zooms, and that's more personalized, obviously going to be a little bit more intensive, and that starts at $1,500 a month up to like $9,000 for a year.
Okay. And how has the business been going?
Gone great, dude. We did a $500,000 last year.
Sheesh.
Yeah, dude, I did $500,000 out the gate last year.
Let's go, baby.
And I these fucking taxes, man. God damn. I was like, I always wanted tax problems, and now I do. No, so. But for real, man, it's humbling because I had no idea, man. I was like, man, I don't know how we're gonna make this work. There's still stress, right? There's bad days, there's good days in business, and there's fucking now I got a kid and to support, and so and there's no guarantees, bro. I gotta hustle, right? There's no guarantees, man. I have to be on that thing, dude. That's why I gotta get up early too, man. I'm on that thing 19 hours a day, bro. I don't fuck around, dude, and so I gotta
19-hour days with the business,
man. Yeah. So because I'm doing 8 hours of Zooms a day. 7 hours of Zooms a fucking day, man, with my clients and stacking, and we're booked out weeks, and so it's a lot of energy because I got to show up correct, which keeps me accountable as fuck. I can't show up on the fucking Zoom like, hey man, what's up, dude? I
had a rough night last night.
I can't.
Do you drink or anything?
Man, I'll sip every once in a while.
Yeah.
And my fiance and stuff, so I'm not like the be a monk guy. Some guy, that works for some people. It's just not me, dude.
Yeah.
It's not me. But what I had to really do is I got to be cognizant of like, bro, keeping restraint, you know, and also, man, keeping that morning process so fucking important. That, dude, I can't stay out till 2, 3 in the morning, dude.
Hell no.
I can't, dude, and I don't want to, man, because I got to get up at fucking 3, dude. So it's like,
man, brother.
It's helpful for me, and also just. We all know, dude. There's no great virtue learned after midnight.
No. Nothing but bad can happen.
Dude,
after that.
We've all been there, dude.
100%,
wrapped up in problems, and so I'm tired of that shit, dude. I'm so tired of getting out of shit. I'm trying to get into good shit.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's helpful for me, dude. And that's why I say building a morning process that is so important to you is helpful because it affects your night. You're like, man, I got to get to bed early, and so I can get up and do this shit. And so that's why I actually start my Zooms really early. I start at like 5:30 in the morning because, I got guys on the East Coast and shit. And so it helps me because then I have to hold myself accountable to get up and be in the right frame and keep the right energy and keep that coffee coming in early, bro. Straight up.
Do you support the coffee company? What is it called? Rifle?
Black Rifle.
Yeah, man.
Black Rifle?
Yeah, bro. Those guys are all good, man. It's like, I'm down for whatever, bro. I'll take the Nespresso pods to the head, dude.
Yeah, is it good coffee, bro?
Oh, bro, so good.
Yeah?
I got that nice Nespresso maker and shit, dude.
Shit.
Yeah,
the big dog one, huh?
Bro, I like it, dude. I don't have many like luxury items, but I'll take good coffee every time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what do you think? Have you ever done the Sean Ryan show?
No, but Sean and I have talked, dude. He's busy now, man.
Interviewing
presidents and shit, dude.
Jeez,
So he's done a really good job, man. And so, man, one day maybe we'll pop on there.
I love the dude's show, man.
Yeah, he sends it.
Yeah, because I feel like his show is like I feel like in life I could have done two different things, but I did the one thing. You know what I mean? You know, I was the dude on the streets. You know, the gangster that lived how I wanted to live and did what the fuck I wanted to do on these streets. You know what I mean? Or there was another life that I wanted to live, and it was potentially in the military, a Navy SEAL, one of them type of dudes. You know what I mean? I mean, when I remember when I was a kid, man, my mom, man, we went to this fucking. I was gonna say horrible church. I mean, we went to this church. It was like in Pasadena when I was a kid, bro, and it was just fucking it was like a Jehovah Witness controlling. Don't do this, don't that. And I hated it because my mom's dude brought this into the household, and it was just fucking. But I just sit there and I ain't even listening to what this dude's saying. But I'll be thinking like, well, shit, what if some bad guys came in here? You know what I mean? And they got they take over the church, you know what I mean? Shit, I'd save the fucking day. You know what I mean? So I ended up being that guy, that adventurous guy, but obviously, you know, on the wrong side of the fence, man. You know, the wrong side of the law, and it is what it is. I paid my debt to society, and now I live a different life. But I don't know why I said all that, bro. Why was I saying all that? Was it over Black Rifle Coffee,
Maybe
bro?
that you were going to be able to join the military or something because you had like... You said
just
bad guys
the
came
approach,
in here
man. You know, you were just talking about kind of the approach, bro. You know,
You had two options.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going somewhere with that, guys.
It seemed like maybe like you had like you're always thinking about like enemies or something. You could have joined the military or something.
I wish I'd have joined the military, bro. Straight up, man. I wish I would have been that. I would have been that guy because I feel like I could have been like, you know, when Taylor's route. You know what I mean? Got kicked out and then joined the. You know what I mean? Joined the Foreign Legion,
you know,
bro.
I look back. You know, people say, you know, I don't have any regrets. You know. Bro, I got a ton of regrets. Yeah. Man, people say I got no regrets. You got no regrets, bro.
Yeah,
you know, and so
that's
I think
crazy. You lived a perfect life.
I'm like, damn, dude. But even, you know, people make mistakes, and I get what they're saying. You know, they're appreciative of where they're at, and you know, butterfly effect, things have to be. But dude, I regret, you know, getting kicked out of the military and ruining opportunities. You know, to go some of the next levels up, and you know, making my mom fucking, you know, scared and you know, concerned and all this shit, dude. It's like, man, I got a lot of regrets, bro. This motherfucker goes, man, he do OnlyFans, bro. This motherfucker, dude. OnlyFans. This shit's funny, man, because it's like...
Lucky's pipe dreaming again. These guys are assholes, bro. Dude, let me dream, bro. Let me dream,
that's
dog.
Fun. No, it's like, it's talking about those Zooms, bro. Yeah, do we do one-on-one? Because everybody's tailored problem sets are different, right? And so some people need more focus on, like, leadership, team management in their businesses. Yeah. Some people need fucking relationship issues. Some people need to restructure their fitness or their food or their fucking vices, right? I've had big clients that are, you know, who are CEOs of big companies that can't get off coke and they're fucking about to lose everything, right? It's like all these things we need. So you need face-to-face to be able to talk to people that way because also, dude, they can send it. Right? No, there's no filter, man. You can send very few times in life can you send absolute truth to somebody and it not be judged or fucking, because there ain't nothing they can say that's gonna fucking like scare me, bro. But also, when they're authentic, now we can change it. Because once you've addressed something very clear, now we can make some adjustments, bro. Now you're not hiding behind some bullshit. And what are they gonna go tell a therapist with some fucking thing on the wall? No, man, because it's also not just about talking about your problem. It's like, all right, how do we back it up with correct daily habits? That's the only thing that fucking matters is what are we going to do about it? Not talk about this shit. How do we fix it?
100%. And you know what, speaking about fixing stuff, I just remembered right now that I had, Hoodstocks had Taylor booked on a previous date last year. And I had rescheduled with Taylor, and I think I told Taylor, I said, hey, bro, I'm going through some things right now, and I think I'm going to check myself into a rehab. Yeah. I think that happened with you, right? Yep. And I apologize about that, brother, but it was just I was going through a little thing in my life, but I've been really good for the past X amount of short period, bro. My bounce back game was really good, brother. Yeah. Always, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I just bam, come on, Luck, that's it, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I had.
No, I respected the honesty because also, thanks for fucking hitting me up before, right? And like scheduling it, like even through a moment of chaos, you're like, oh, I have this like thing booked. I actually respected that. Yeah. And I love honesty and authenticity, bro, because I'm like, all right, bro, you know, I've been there, dude. Yeah. It's like, hey, thanks for hitting me up, dude. Let me know when you get the bearings and we'll reset. And I thought that was G shit.
Yeah, I had this dude and I was going, you know, okay, I had a rough, I self-sabotaged myself last year on just, you know, making poor decisions, man. You know, after making so many right decisions, and then fall back to making poor decisions, but not as detrimental as my decisions used to be before, because I would crash out and go to prison. I've been in prison 6 times, bro, you know what I mean? And, you know, I've just like fucking, you know, self-sabotage, you know, idiot. I got one year, I got the Idiot Award of the Year handed to me from the mayor, you know what I mean? You know?
Oh, damn. What was the last time you went to prison? What was something, you know, you walking out, what was kind of the change that kind of kept you out from going back?
My little sister died of cancer last time.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, my little sister died of cancer, and she was the only one that was closest to me and my family and shit, and she always loved me. Her name is Jessica, rest in peace. She was a year younger than me. We grew up playing together. She was my best friend, and yeah, so the last time I was in prison, and I never felt like a weaker person when you're supposed to be strong in environments like that. And I'm always, you know, I'm an alpha, bro. At least I like to think I'm an alpha, bro. I'm a scrappy dude, you know what I mean? I've lost a lot of fights, but I won some, bro, but I'll never back down, bro. You feel me? And I've always been this guy, you know what I mean? I've always been the guy. The personality is what it is, you know what I mean? You know, but yeah, man, she died while I was in prison, and the counselors were so nice, man, because they would let me talk to her while she was on her deathbed, and they put her in hospice, and she would cry to me, telling me that she was scared to die, you know. And every day in prison, man, I fell to my knees, and I'd just be like, God, take me, fuck that shit, take me, you know what I mean? And I cried like a fucking baby in there in front of dudes that probably didn't even give a fuck about me, you know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to look for their shoulder. I just couldn't. Sometimes I couldn't contain my emotions, bro. And I just fucking just out of nowhere, just like fucking just start fucking just breaking down because I loved her so much, you know what I mean? And so when I got out, I said, because my thing was, I was like, God, you know what I mean? Like, take, you know, it's such a silly thing to do, but I really meant it. Like, take me, you know? But I was just like, she was such a good girl, you know what I mean? She was a very good girl. She didn't live the life, you know what I mean? 'Cause she was always with my mom, and I went with my pops and ended up fucking life up, you know what I mean? But she, you know, she lived a good life. She wasn't a fucking homegirl on the streets. Nah, she was a good girl, bro. You know what I mean? Regular Southern California girl, doing the right things. You know what I mean? And you know, she got her life cut short, and I was just like, damn, man, I've been fucking up all these years, and here I am alive, bro, playing with my motherfucking life. You know? And so yeah, that was my breaking point. That was the fork in the road. And it was hard because I caught myself in the neighborhood at times. Cause I get out in the neighborhood, and sometimes I caught myself in a couple situations where I'm with the fellas, you know what I mean? But I'm not all the way in no more, bro. I'm straddling the fence. You know what I mean? You know, usually I'm leading the fucking the pack of dogs, the wolves. You know what I mean? And now I feel hesitant. You know what I mean? I feel hesitant, and I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I don't like feel like a little bitch in a situation. You know what I mean? You know, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't like feeling like a little like you know what I mean? And so I just had to start separating myself from what I knew. You know, the streets, the homies, this and that, and I had to isolate myself, and I had to have no friends. You know what I mean? I had to have no homies because, you know what I mean? Like I'm not good for them right now. You know what I mean? And they ain't good for me. You know, I'm not good for them. Why? Because I'm straddling the fence in the sense of like, homie, I ain't all, you know. And mind you, bro, I'm 37 years old at the time. You know what I mean? I'm 47 now. You know what I mean? But I'm 37 years old at the time, bro. Like, you know. And yeah, so gradually, I just had isolation was key for me. You know what I mean? Just like little by little, just cut it all off. You know what I mean? And then put myself in my own fucking thoughts. And then I realized how bad anxiety and how I had some like mental things fucking me up, bro. And so I started going to the doctors, and I'd be like, man, you know what I mean? Help me, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I think I got an imbalance or something, you know what I mean? From all the drug abuse and being locked in cells and the trauma and being shot, stabbed, running from cops, running from enemies, fucking full-on street fucking gunfights, you know what I mean? Like real 90s gangbanging shit, you know? And I realized that I was just fucking like, I was fucked up in my head, bro. So I was getting psych meds, and I was getting weird shit, bro. And I was like a fucking test guinea pig, bro. I'm like, that didn't work. Give me something else. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to fix myself, dog. I wanted to fix myself because I could. Who's gonna live with me, and if I can't live with myself?
Facts.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And so I went through a long fucking fuck, dog, I went through a long journey, like 5 years straight of just trying to like, fuck. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, I just like, and for years, people always thought I was just like a fucking cocky motherfucker. No, I just hated myself, bro.
Yeah.
I hated myself. I really hated myself, you know what I mean? And which made me an asshole. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
a powerful realization, man.
It made me an asshole because I hate, but they like, oh, he's an asshole because he thinks he's all that. No, I'm an asshole because I hate myself.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yeah, I went through some things in my life, brother, that I had to, I think I'm good now. I mean, I'm always trying to like level the fuck up and fix myself, and you know what I mean? I mean, if you do a life of fuck ups, bro, you know what I mean? You know, well, who knows? Maybe it's gonna take another life chapter of fixing it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Who knows how long that's gonna be? So I'm still on my journey. Like, mind you, this was a couple months ago that I sent you that email.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that the person that I was in that email was nowhere close to the dude that I used to be prior to that. That's actually a really good version of me right there. You feel me? Like, I'm sending an email. Hey, dog, I think I'm not good right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sending an email. Like, I'm fucking gangster.
It was like all proper grammar and shit,
I'm like,
too.
hey, excuse me, sir. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to reschedule because I'm fucked up. Or I think I'm going to rehab, bro.
Well, bro, that's interesting because 37 was kind of when I started to have my realization too. 37, I would say. Well, maybe a little bit before, but around that time, man, it's like something starts to, and that healing process, man, is, bro, there's a lot of damage. You got to remember the synapses and all the pathologies and not paired with the habits and the thought process and this and that, bro. It takes a lot of unwinding to kind of clean that shit out. And that's why I say, simplify the day, simplify, streamline, right? That simplification is the highest form of sophistication, right? Simplicity. So it's like, why though? Well, it's removing the variables, right? It's removing variables so you can actually like fucking like, okay, that affects me this way, that affects me that way. And that's people, places, things. That's fucking slow the fuck down. Do you really need to be going all these places?
Yeah.
No. Do you really need to be fucking eating all this random shit? No. Do you really need to talk to all these fucking people? No, right? It's like you streamline enough things. Now you have a ability to kind of process, and then you add the things slowly. That makes sense, right? It's a strategic fucking move, man. It's helpful. That isolation's helpful, man. If you got to self-isolate, then do it, right?
That's what I did. It helped me a lot, bro. And it was almost like, all right, look, you got nobody to blame, you know? Just me and my thoughts. I know Casey's got some things to ask you. Let me use the restroom. Casey, I know you got some questions.
Everybody wants to hear your French.
Ah oui. C'est dans la Légion étrangère, elle est très importante parler français.
Hell yeah. That's amazing, bro. Shit.
C'est obligatoire dans la Légion étrangère, which means foreign legion, right? It's mandatory.
This dude said this white boy cool, man, better than Wes Watson.
Yeah, man, dude. We like to keep it fresh, bro. Man, Jimmy's a good dude, man. But
What is the BUDS training in Navy SEALs?
What does it mean?
Yeah, BUD.
Basic underwater demolition SEALs.
What is that exactly?
So it's like basic underwater it's just kind of what they called it, which is basic underwater demolition. It's, you know, the old UDT SEALs, underwater demolition teams. They used to blow shit up, like, you know, World War II. So a lot of people, like, you know, seen Private Ryan, seen that fucking movie. Well, those guys driving in before that D-Day event, bro, there was UDTs out there with fucking knives in their mouth diving, and a lot of guys died, bro. They were getting peppered with machine gun fire, and they were blowing channels open, like, because the Germans put all like the bombs and shit. And so that was kind of like the ancestors of SEALs, bro. And so they would go, and those dudes were hard, bro. Fucking tough ass motherfuckers, right? So they're out diving, dude, on breath holds with these underwater explosive sacks. And they were blowing this shit up, dude. And so that's kind of like the tip of the cap to it. It's where it comes from. And in that selection process, BUDS, you do some of that training, right? You'll do some dives and things like that. That's kind of what that is.
Okay, that's crazy, bro. That's
man.
Amazing. That's that. Do you know about Jake Zwig?
Yeah, I know him. I don't know him personally, but I know of him.
Do you know about this quote where he says there's no difference between a street dude who kills and goes to jail and a soldier that kills and flies back home on a plane and is still killing at the end of the day?
It is, right? But there's difference between, there's killing. Yeah, technically in that definition, it's killing, right? But murder is illegal killing. right? Murder is illegal killing. And so that's actually a definition where it's like in biblically, when they say thou shalt not kill,
Yeah.
it's actually not the translation. It's an old Hebrew word, but the word is thou shalt not murder, right? And so it got kind of, murder is illegal killing. Now, right, we can sit there and talk about
The fine lines.
the fine line, overseas, but you're there under a cloak of, legality. So that's kind of like what that is.
Okay, and any special ops things? Have you ever dealt with any UAP or UFO anomalous
Dude,
materials?
That's funny, man, dude. Bro, I think I've seen some shit, but I don't know really what I saw. Because I'll tell you this. People that have ever looked at things, the stars on night vision, it's a fucking trip. Like, you think you see stars. You go out in the desert, get away from the city. You see, bro, put some night vision on. Holy shit, dude. You have a whole... And so there's been times I've been, you see so much more. Right, and so I've seen some shit. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I've never came across an alien or no shit like that.
Man,
Area 51's a real place, though, man. I mean,
it is a real
they
place.
train out there and stuff, and so we've had some guys, drive out there. It's funny, it's because they have some like radioactive shit. Some guy told me this story. He goes, they're doing some clearances and stuff, and he said there's like a piece of caution tape just like strung up. And the guy's like, hey, careful, don't go over there. And he's like, why? He's like, radioactivity. He's like, motherfucker, what's this caution tape doing, bro? Is this helping me out?
yeah, you definitely need like some hazmat
Yeah,
stuff,
dude.
right?
He's like, damn, bro.
Man. So in your time in South America with the gold mines, I kind of wanted to touch on some of that. Like, did you have to learn Spanish while you were out there too?
Nah, man, because they speak French down there. But, I mean, we were coming across guys who were Brazilians, so they're speaking Portuguese. Mm-hmm. Right, so, but we got to remember, we're in the Foreign Legion, so we got guys that speak every fucking language.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we had Brazilians with us. We have, guys from Colombia and Venezuela, and, they all speak Spanish. So we had pretty much every language covered down on.
And how was like the business structure of that gold mine really ran? Was it like crazy to see like the intricacies of it?
There was one spot, because there was a legal spot, right? There was a legal spot, and 6 guys were working this mine, and they had some heavy machinery. Who the fuck knows how they got it out there? It's deep in the jungle. They build it out there after they get the parts in, dude, over river boats and all this shit. But bro, I talked to the guy. I said, "How much gold you pulling?" He said they were pulling 700,000 euro out a week.
Holy shit.
Yeah, bro, which is like 800 grand, 850 grand, something like that a week. Throwing it in a backpack, man, and like just Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, dude. The guy will sit with a gun on the back of this fucking dirt bike, and fucking one guy drives, dude, and they try to go through the gauntlet because there's like outlaw groups and shit out there. One guy got shot through the neck a little bit before we were there, who had worked one of the mines, dude, because they're just like, oh, they know this shit goes down, bro. I'm like, damn, dude, you guys are out here getting it, bro.
Fuck, man, that's wild, bro.
You good? Okay. Did you ask him about what they asked?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mr. Taylor Kavanaugh. Thank you so much, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you, bro.
Man,
you guys had a great one, dude. I really appreciate it, dude. We're neighbors, bro. It only took me 50-something minutes to get up here, so it was good shit.
Absolutely, brother. And you know what I mean? From here on out, you got a bridge right here at Hoodstocks, brother. You ever out here not that you need it, bro, but you ever out here in the city, bro. You need the boys come through. We got you on security, bro.
I appreciate that.
Need it. Like, we always got you a key within this.
That's what's up,
within
dude.
This city,
I really
brother.
appreciate that, man. And dude, come down to we'll bring you down to Temecula. We'll hit a YouTube session. We'll hit a gym sesh, bro, and just shoot the shit, dude. Yeah, because it's a podcast standing up. We just kind of do some ways. We don't kill each other. We don't kill ourselves. We just kind of do some workouts, do some shit outside. They have a cool spot called the Yard outside, which is nice, bro. Metroflex Marietta, a little shout out.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I'd love to do that, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we'll line something up.
I mean, good dudes got to stick together, bro.
Yeah, dude. I agree.
Regardless of what side of the fence you grew up on,
yeah.
Right? But we still have we've had the same challenges, the same pain, the trials and tribulations. I mean, addiction, brother. You feel me?
And we all come to the same realizations, right? And everybody watching out there, man, if you're hearing that calling, bro, be that lighthouse for your family, your communities, man. Hold the standard, hold that line, and we're all of us just need to get better.
Absolutely. And so once again, how can people support you, brother?
Man, you could hit up my Instagram, TCav official. You even want to shoot me a DM. I'm Johnny on the spot with that. My website, if people want a little bit more information, TaylorCavanaugh.com, and man, my YouTube, TCAV TV, where we're dropping all that stream of consciousness videos and some of the gym sessions with some of the cast of characters around SoCal and other places.
You know what, bro? Now that I can go after this podcast, it just makes sense, and everything happens for a reason in this sense. Like, now after this podcast, sitting with you, brother, and thanks again, bro. It was an absolute honor. But now I can watch those videos.
Yeah, you'll be.
And now I got insight on it.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, this motherfucker, dude. Yeah, man. Let's set something up. We'll get a gym session out here in the next couple months or something.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, brother. I'm all for it. Hey, my Goonies, my G's, thank you so much for taking time this morning, man. And just have a great Sunday, man. Spend it with the family. I seen someone saying right there that they got to throw some burgers on the grill.
That's what's up.
Dog, come on now. Let's go. And there's one I read. Lucky's going to, shout out to Splits 916. Lucky's going to send him a Christmas card. You know what? I thought about it. And one time I thought about making Christmas cards for just past guests and people that I fuck with, you know what I mean? Sponsors, so on and so forth. And I think we made one with Casey on it. About a year ago,
Yeah.
Remember? We made one with you on it, bro. Like he was like an elf and shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. But hey, we love you guys and we're gone.